Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, welcome back to another episode. Another episode that really has come a very long time after the last episode. The reason I come back is because I love YouTube. I literally love YouTube. And one thing that I've really promised myself in recent times is that I'm going to do so much more of what I love in my life, and I'm going to put energy into things. I've been away for a long time because I've been focusing on different things. And those things have been getting my life in order, my mental health in order, quitting drinking, starting a new business, running the Stompcast, doing my Instagram socials and mental health campaigns, as well as trying to live some life. And so I'm just taking a camera out with me on the things that I'm doing, whether that's day-to-day life, whether that's out on a Stompcast, or whether I'm sitting down to talk about alcohol-free living. I've learned so much in 2 years sobriety, so much stuff, and I'd love to share lots of that with you. I hope to share some stuff around business stuff as well, ups and downs, mistakes I've made, maybe I can help you avoid a few of them, but also how to really build mental fitness. But I'm going to do all this through the lens of having fun. I'm just going to shoot stuff as I feel, and you can help direct me. I'm going to go in the general direction. If you help me navigate a little bit about what you're interested in, what you want more of, that's really helpful. So jump in the comments below, let me know what you're interested in. Now this video is going to jump around a little bit, and it's going to jump potentially to whatever bit is salvageable from me being soaking wet. Anyway, basically I went out for a walk. It rained loads, and I decided rather than to hide under cover, I decided I'd walk out in the rain and actually enjoy and immerse myself in the rain. Because do you know what? One day I will look back and I'll wish that I could go out and feel the rain on my skin one more time. Very deep, and a very deep way to start the episode, but absolutely true. I really hope that me being back on YouTube, and I'm gonna really try and be as consistent as I can be, even with my ADHD, baby. And yes, maybe I'll talk ADHD content. ADHD, wow, that's been a learning thing over the last few years. Are you ADHD? Whack it in the comments. What would you like to talk about? My goodness me, am I learning about ADHD? Maybe you can teach me things as well. I'm not joking or being facetious about that. Maybe you can help me. That would be really great. I think we can help each other, is the truth. It'd be great if you're new to the channel, subscribe. My name's Dr. Alex George. I'm a mental fitness expert. I'm going through life trying to get my mental health in the best possible space I can, and hopefully I can help you guys through that process. I've experienced grief. I lost my brother to suicide. I've experienced extreme depression in my life and very low points, but I've felt a lot of love in life as well, and happiness, and I've achieved lots of different things. I've done lots of different things in my life. And someone close to me said recently, you've lived very many lives for a 33-year-old, and I think that's probably fair and true. Anyway, I'm here for you. Hopefully you're here for me too as well. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because it helps the channel and means that when I post, you'll find out. It's a great way to help support what we're doing here. Anyway, this video is just going to pick up from wherever it was. It might be me soaking wet, it might not be, who knows. Let's roll it. Okay, everyone, you are fully going to be like, Alex has actually lost it. And maybe you're right. I'm absolutely soaking wet, head to toe, and I'm back on YouTube. I'm back. Why am I soaking? Well, because it rained. But basically, I was walking out with Rolo outside the park having a walk. He's absolutely soaking. I'll show you in a minute. Well, I have toweled him a little bit. We're out for a walk and it started raining. When it's proper drenching. We went out with sunshine, started raining. It's kind of typical September, October weather. And usually you kind of feel like I want to run under a tree or want to hide from the rain, or I'm so annoyed I don't have an umbrella, I'm going to get wet now, it's a nightmare. But instead, I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lean into it. I'm just going to enjoy it. I literally just walked through the torrential rain, and me and Rolo just ran through the rain a bit, just stood there, took it all in, smiling away. People are probably looking at me thinking, what is going on? But actually, life is short, so I was lean into it. We take for granted the simple things. Don't get me wrong, it's not ideal getting soaked before going on stage, doing a talk, or before an important meeting, whatever. But whatever, get out and learn to dance in the rain. Anyway. As a side note, so I am going to go dry off in a minute and shower and hair dry Rolo a bit as well. Good morning, how are you all? It is a stunning, beautiful day outside. It's so blue. I love it. Rolo sleeps in the bed with me. My alarm goes off at 6, and my favourite thing is if it's sunny and nice. I was going to go and do a gym session this morning. I was going to do a leg session, but actually I've got quite a free day today, and I was kind of I want to stay in bed with Rolo. I'll go to the gym a little bit later, which often if I've got a packed day, I'll be quite disciplined, but do you know what, I kind of fancy doing a bit of a like gym session, sauna and hydro pool, because my legs are still quite sore. I ran the Great North Run on the weekend and my legs are still a little bit sore, not too bad, but it's kind of nice just to do a weight session and then kind of chill. But first we're going to go for a walk this morning and get outside. So I thought I'd just take you with me really and see what we get up to. Let's do it. And this is my bedroom. It's all kind of, got my clothes quite tidy at the moment actually, kind of organised them relatively well. Let's go and find Rolo Polo. He'll be chilling in here. You ready for walkies, Rolo? Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Should we go? Come on then, let's go get ready. Come on then, Rolo Polo. Good boy. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Come on then. Come on. Oh, good boy. When do you ever get told off when you're having this done? Ever, huh? Make it look like I'm mean to you. When? Ever? Okay. And never forget to fill your poo bags, because that is embarrassing. Dad dog life. And I often sit where I am now, just outside this coffee shop, with a very lovely skinny flat white. And what do you think my order of choice is? I'm a medium Nando spicy guy, so you can probably guess that I'm a plain croissant guy. But the plain croissants here are literally to die for. They are, oh, listen to that crumble of ASMR. They are so good. I love sitting out here because in the mornings, I get my coffee, have a sit for a minute, clear mind. I love the view when I'm sat here, like just seeing the buildings, and then I get out for a walk with Rolo, or we head off for a proper walk. And that routine in the morning is like such a big thing for me. And I think as I've got older, like 33 now, I really value that point of like routine and grounding and starting each day feeling like steady and with it. It just makes such a difference to my life. And I'm going to talk to you in a minute about like the changes that have happened, because my life has changed so much in the last few years, like a lot. Being alcohol free and everything, like so much has changed. So we're going to come on to that in a minute, but for now, let's enjoy this. So something just happened as I was putting the camera away. I literally was eating my croissant and about to put it away. By the way, we're just taking a little seat at the bench. Rolo's had a little sit down. He's keeping an eye out on the doggies in the distance. We basically had a moment where I was about to put the camera away, and basically this lady was walking past and she was like, "Oh, what are you filming?" And I said, actually, honestly, the shortest and most truthful answer is me eating this croissant. And we had a giggle. And she was an elderly lady. I said, "Oh, how are you doing? You're having a great day. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? It's great to be outside." And I could tell she's foreign. I said, "Do you want to have a sit down? Join me. Come and have a seat." She had a coffee with her. She had to sit down. And I was given this bit of advice a good few years ago now by a consultant of mine called Nigel Harrison. He's a very wise man. And he said to me that whenever you get the opportunity, whenever you meet someone, try and learn at least one thing from that person. He was talking about in the context of patients. When you go and see a patient, learn one thing. He used to say, learn one thing medical, one thing about them, because you'll find that it'll help you professionally, but also in your personal life, and especially from elderly people. Like, elderly people have so much life experience. It's not always that they're always right, or that, you know, they know the answers to everything, but they've experienced a lot, and from their experience, both mistakes and things they got right, you can learn so much. Anyway, I've always found that concept very useful. I've taken it forward for well over a decade now. And so, you know, we started chatting, and I'm not going to say she's got a lovely name and so on, but I'm not going to say her name or where she's from, just in case. But basically, she's been going through a lot with her family and challenges, as we often do, family challenges. And I don't know, I got chatting to her and I said, "Look, you know, what would you say to a younger person like me? I'm 33 years old. What would you say to someone, you know, looking back in life and the things you've learned?" You know, she's been through lots of challenges. She's moved over to the UK. She's been very successful in business as well, I believe, but done lots of different things and faced lots of different challenges. She said to me, "I think you worry a lot," because we've been talking about different things. She said, "I think you worry a lot." She said, Stop trying to find the answers for everything. You don't need to find the answer to everything. Not everything needs an intellectual answer. Sometimes you've got to let things just be. And I thought that is really good advice. That's really, really good advice. It's not easy, and she said that. She said, it's not easy, especially with the big questions that we have. And we talked a lot. We were there for like 40 minutes, and I told her about my brother, and because I was saying about what I do, and I was like, how do I explain what I do to someone that's elderly? Like, I make videos and content, and I have like 3 or 4 million followers between all my platforms. How do you explain that to someone and what you do? I don't know. But I said I do, my passion is mental health. I want to make mental fitness something that is accessible and important and helpful and, there for everyone. And so we talked about my brother, and yeah, she said, stop trying to find the answers for everything. You can your whole life look at stuff and go, why did I do that? Or should I have done this differently? What would have happened if I'd done this? Or why did that person treat me that way? Or why did the past version of myself treat me that way? And you'll never find the answers to a lot of it. And I think some of it is learning to be in the moment. Something that Eckhart Tolle talks about is like, if you were to ask a tree behind us, like, what time is it? It'll look at you, if it could look at you and think, like, you're bonkers, the only time's now. What do you mean the future and the past? Like, now is the only time that you have. And that's like a crazy concept, but the past does not exist and the future doesn't exist. We have reference points and things that we remember in the now about the past, but the past itself does not exist as an entity. And that is kind of like we live so much of our lives in the past or worrying about the future because we're either looking for answers for what happened in the past or we're trying to predict and prevent pain in the future. And actually all you do is create suffering in the now. Anyway, I'm going to do a separate video. If it's useful, let me know in the comments below. Like, is it useful? Would you like me to talk through this? Because I've actually done a lot of work spiritually and mentally over a very, very long time. I've read a lot of the kind of, I guess, mainstream books, but also I've spent a lot of time myself just thinking and sitting with this stuff to try and come to some of the answers. And some of those things I have answers for and others I don't. And I think she's right. You have to just accept things and allow things to be. And if you can separate from those thoughts. Anyway, she was incredible and I'm so glad she sat with me. And I really would advise people, just like if you have an opportunity to talk to an elder person, take that opportunity. That's someone that's like, she was, I think, like 70 or 80, maybe even 80, late 70s probably. She has 70 years of life experience. Like, to be able to sit and ask someone, like, what would you tell a young person like me? It means you might be able to avoid some of the mistakes, but most importantly, you might be able to really focus on the things that really matter. So really do that. Anyway, the reason I sat down, I wanted to talk to you, I've taken a moment here. Look at Rolo, just taking a moment. Hey, chilling, Rolo. The reason I sat down here is I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, what I think the direction of this channel would be, but also a little bit about what's been going on. So the last 6 years have been crazy, right? I went on Love Island, I've come off the show. I think I started the YouTube channel, I was doing car stuff and whatever. So I do love cars, I love motorbikes now as well and this kind of stuff. And I've been on and off the channel. I've been making, obviously throughout the pandemic, I was making videos around that. There's been a bit of lifestyle stuff. And I think my kind of portfolio of content has changed and what I do is really honed in and zoned in. But the thing I've really missed is doing this stuff. And so what I would like to share, if you'd like to see it, is how I live my life now as an alcohol-free person. And I think I hope this content's interesting to everyone. And there's a really big plane coming, so I might let this one go because it's a real noisy plane. Is it noisy, Rolo? It's a beautiful boy. The reason I think this content's useful for everyone is because ultimately, I'm pretty sure everyone, whether you drink a bit, drink a lot, or not at all, wants to know or wants to live their life when they're sober or when they're without alcohol, if that's all the time or some of the time, to the best qualities you can. And I actually don't think this society teaches people how to enjoy life without alcohol. Hello, doggy. Hiya, pup. Hey, are you pretty? Are you pretty? Yeah, you're pretty. Hello. So basically my battery went flat just as the dog said hello. So I don't really know how much at the end of it you guys really saw. But I came back. Actually, quite a lot's happened. So I came back. I I came back and had a couple of calls. One with my speaking agent, so I do a lot of talks and stuff. So I'm talking about like corporate talks. So obviously I do a lot of kind of school talks and stuff like that I do for free and everything. But I also obviously do corporate talks as well, which I actually quite enjoy, to be honest. I've got a really cool trip to America really soon, which will be really fun. Maybe I should film some of my trip to Seattle. That'd be cool. And then I had a call with another team member after that, and then I went out for a good run. So I did the Great North Run, as I said, on the weekend. So I got out to do what did I do? 7K today, just to kind of get moving, get the legs going. I'm quite pleased with that. My legs are actually okay. Knees are a little bit stiff, but not too bad. And then otherwise, I've just been chilling with Rolo. We've got outside, got for a good walk and stuff. Today has actually been a really nice day. As I say, my diary is generally really packed out. So you're looking at like 6 months of being packed out, and then we try and have days that are protected so I can just kind of think and create. For example, I made a video while walking on my phone for Instagram and TikTok about the conversation I had with that lady, kind of summarizing the essence of that conversation. So often when you create space and time, you actually are able to make amazing or fun things. I'm not saying it's amazing, but you can do things at that time. I think sometimes when we overschedule our lives, we actually prevent and hamper our growth or our ability to create. Because really, to create something, you need time to think. Although oddly, sometimes thinking too much can prevent creativity. And that's when you're stuck in the past or the future. When you're in the now and in the present, that's when you can create. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about, what I was going on to talk about in this segment was like some of what's changed in my life. I mean, if you look at videos from 5 or 6 videos ago, you'll see a very different Alex. I mean, I was over 21 stone in weight. I was struggling a lot, very much in a difficult place, my mental health. And yeah, quite a lot's changed. Like I've been alcohol free now for nearly 2 years. It'll be 2 years in December. 2 years, which would be great. I'm really proud of myself for that. So nearly 2 years in December. And throughout that process, stopping drinking has taught me so much. And I kind of would like to make content and videos around alcohol-free living and the process of doing that and the benefits of that. Because I think, like, whether you're someone who wants to stop drinking, whether you're someone that wants to continue drinking or somewhere in between, we all surely want to live parts of our life alcohol-free and get the most of them. And I think society teaches us very well how to drink and how drinking can be part of your life. It doesn't really teach you how to live life with less or little or no alcohol. Like, how do you socialize? How do you date? How do you unwind? How do you deal with stress? How do you have fun without alcohol? All these things are not really talked about. So I'm really keen to make content around that. So please, I know I've asked you to write a few things in the comments, but just feedback to me, let me know. Is that of interest? To be honest, as I said right at the start, I really want to get back into making videos. And so I'll probably still make the videos regardless. But if you would really like that kind of content, then give me a thumbs up and let me know. And I will do more of that. Also, what's changed is I think that I have been dealing a lot with trauma and the traumas I've had in my life. I've been kind of rebuilding a lot in my life. I've been exercising and running, lifting weights, and focusing on like getting myself into a good mental state. Am I in a good mental state? I'm in between. I have good days, I have bad days. What has changed is my resilience for life is so much better. My capacity to deal with things is better, but also my capacity for joy. Because I believe that we don't heal to handle the trauma. We heal so we can handle the joy. And I think that is very important. It's a really important point, which I'm happy to talk more about in other videos. So anyway, a lot has changed, and I'm very grateful for life. I'm very grateful for growth, and I am grateful for healing. I definitely have difficult days. Often when I get stuck too much in the mind and the thoughts and the past and the future, when I tend to be present, I'm much happier, which I think is true for most people, taking from the power of now, I guess. Again, we'll talk about that in a video of its own, I think. that's helpful. I just want to create, I want to have fun, I want to be in the moment, and if I can take you guys along with it, then cool. You know, you can come along to Stompcast shoots, come along to see kind of things I do, like talks. Yeah, if I go to Seattle in a few weeks, I could probably shoot some of that stuff out there. Content creation, there's business stuff as well. Obviously, so much, I'd say 80 to 90% of what I do is free, if you want to call it that. Content that I create and so on. So we have to very carefully make sure that we're monetizing the right parts to make the rest of it free and volunteering, right? That's the kind of point. And sometimes that balance is difficult to find, because you get very, very carried away with the campaigns, the mental health stuff, but you also got to remember that you do actually have to fund the whole thing. So, and by the whole thing, I mean literally my life as well, because I don't earn money from the hospital. I don't earn money when I post on Instagram. I don't get paid to post Instagram. TikTok doesn't pay you unless you make ridiculous numbers of views, and even then, it's, as far as I can see, not a lot of money. So you have to be intelligent with these things, you know, and that has been a big lesson. I have learned a lot about business in the last 6 years, made a lot of mistakes, but I also learned a lot of valuable stuff too. Maybe I could share some of that as well. Anyway, I'm now going to go and do a bit more reading and a bit more chilling. And then this afternoon, I'm going to go out and see a friend for a bit. We're going to go for some food and just hang out in central London. Before tomorrow, I'm hitting a Stompcast. It's Friday tomorrow. We're hitting a Stompcast. It's going to be really fun. And I'll bring the camera along to shoot some of that. So I'll see you there. So guys, it is the next day, and it's a sunny, beautiful day, although you might be looking at cloud and shade at the moment. I was planning to film like coming up to record this and doing lots of different things, but life happened, and basically we got here, today's guest was here ready and waiting, so we basically got cracking. We had an amazing conversation. I was talking to Alain de Botton, that's the right way of saying it? Alain de Botton. Yeah. Anyway, the guy is a genius. He's a really, really clever chap who is a philosopher, works in mental health, you know, as a therapist and so on, and has written very many books. He's really, really interesting, and his school of thought was fascinating. We talked about lots of different things, actually. We were talking about like religion for atheists, an interesting concept. The idea of, actually I asked him about the power of now, which I've been talking to you guys about. What's his thoughts on living in the now? Like, can we do that? Can we just disregard trauma and so on? And then we also talked about relationships. So it was fascinating. And if you haven't listened to the Stompcast yet, I'd really recommend it. Obviously, it's my podcast, but go and have a listen, because we really deep dive into these conversations, and I always walk away with like a feeling of an understanding. Anyway, to my side, well, behind the camera, you've got Abby Wag. Say hello, Abby. Look at what nails have you got now? Show your nails, the fantastic nails, I have no doubt. So Abby is my assistant, and are you warm, Abby?
My hands are a bit cold.
Your hands are a bit cold, so you're not shaking, so that's good news. And we've got my wonderful friend and producer Charlie here as well, and we've been stomping now for like 2 years, haven't we?
Yeah,
it's been a little while.
It's been a while, and we've covered many kilometres. Was it to the moon and back?
Something
no,
like
maybe not us, everybody.
We've been to the moon and back quite a few times, not just us.
Yeah, everybody, so just us.
We're doing like, so it's 4 or 5K, not every week, it depends on the thing, but 4 or 5K or something. Actually, by the time we do all this and the walking around, it certainly is 4 or 5K a week. And basically we counted up like how many guests and stuff, and worked out roughly that it would be a very long way, basically, that people...
to the moon and back many, many times.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been really good. It's nice on a day like this when the sun's kind of shining. It makes such a difference, like stomping around. You'll probably see a little bit of B-roll, actually. We'll chuck a bit of that on top. I mean, yeah, what if you were going to summarise for our YouTube audience, like what the Stompcast means, what would you say as the producer for us? What is the Stompcast?
I would say that the Stompcast is a way for people to become a healthier, both mentally and physically, person by not only getting out and walking, but also listening to people within the realms of well-being to understand how they can make themselves that 1%, 10% better, whatever it might be. And so actually it's a little hub of information through the form of audio that allows somebody to help themselves in whatever way that might be across many verticals.
Something really like powerful as well about doing outside of walking, because not just for us, because obviously it often feels a bit like therapy in a way what we're doing, but also for listeners. If you're listening to the stuff and you're talking about like mental fitness, or maybe we're talking about financial health, which is a big thing, we're talking about relationships or whatever, you're doing it in the context of being moving and being outside, and there's science that shows that doing these things, just like having a difficult conversation on a walk, listening to these conversations helps it sink deeply into your mind in a way that embeds further into your life. So, I mean, one of the things we have talked about is how do we take this to YouTube? So we're hoping to bring this to YouTube in a way that helps people, and so I'd really like to bring it, and I was saying this earlier in the videos, that I really want to get back into YouTubing. I really enjoy it. I like making content. Even I actually had edited some of the stuff I've shot already before coming on today, and I just found it to be such a nice process. So anyway, we'll come to the end of this because it's about half an hour vlog, so hopefully you're still here. Well, you are still here because you're seeing this. Just to say thank you so much for sticking with me, for coming back to the channel. We're going to make lots more content around the topics that we've talked about, and if you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe because it really helps. And if you haven't already, come over and listen to the Stompcast. Thank you everyone, take care and goodbye.